Welcome to the first ever edition of Flashback Friday. Now, for those of you who are new to our show, random car videos, they will not have known that we had another channel. This other channel was cutting edge. This other channel was full of swears, violent outbursts, and hilarity. Okay, fine. Joe was the only hilarious part of Ranting and Raving.
There you go.
Shout out to Joe. So we are going to do what will most likely be a one-time thing, but we might drag it out of the bag every now and then. Ranting and Raving today. So, for those who don't know about our Ranting and Raving channel, here's how it usually worked. We would have between 3, and I think the most we had was 9 people on the show at one time. We would go around having individual rants. And then we would have a group rant, which everyone would sound off on. Now, I'm going to defer this to my main man in black over here to start us off, because I actually have to think of one.
Really? After everything?
No.
Okay.
I have to sort through the ones that I have and figure out which ones that I'm going to use.
All right.
I could use all of them, but that would wind up taking an hour, and I really don't want to do this for an hour.
You use all of them. It's going to take more than 1 hour, brother. I'll tell you that much right now.
Well, I'm sure you don't want to sit here through all my rants.
Nah, not really. About halfway through this episode, I'll be leaving.
You know, I'm probably going to end up saving it for when we do another Flashback Friday.
All right. All right, so we're ranting. We're going to do individual rants. I'm going to do one. He's going to do one. And we're going to do a group one. Where both me and him will absolutely rant about anything that me and him could talk about. Now, the funny thing is, it's kind of out of the blue. We did not plan this. We talked about it, like, very briefly for, like, maybe about 5 minutes maximum. In which case, it was, like, foregone conclusion at that point that we're going to do this. It's kind of a little shock to me, but you know what? We're going to do this anyways.
I'm actually shocked that you would concede to this after all of the nastiness.
Well, fuck it, man. You know, I mean, we don't have a certain other person in this car, so I'm good.
Okay. And for those who actually want to view this other channel for some absurd reason, which is unbeknownst to me,
And me.
I will give the channel name once. I will not post it in the description.
We do not support this channel.
We do not support the channel. We are a new entity. We thrive on this new enterprise. We like this new entity. So we're going to keep with this new entity and not acknowledge the fact that we had another show from now on.
Yes.
Unless we drag this out of the bag again, which we're probably going to do, like I said before.
We acknowledge the fact that it's there. We just don't support it.
And if you think it's funny, more power to you.
Just letting you know there will not be another episode.
The channel name is Ranting and Raving MLA. One word. Now, the reason that it's called MLA at the end is for the 3 founders of the show, Matt being one, hence M.
And 2 friends who we will not name because they have not been on this show.
Nope.
So, but I was one of the originators.
You was.
So.
And then I hopped on to their bandwagon.
About three
About the
episodes
3rd
in.
episode in.
Yep.
And as they will say in the future, the rest is history. So, you may begin when you want to.
Alright. Let's see. What do I want to rant about that I could possibly rant about?
Sure, you have lots.
Oh, I do, but I gotta think of a good one. And stuff. Alright, I got it. And this rant has definitely been done before, but I just got new material on it, so I can do it over again, over and over again. Dumbass drivers.
This is a redux.
Yeah, there's a redux on our old rant before, but I'm just gonna redo this one all over again because I just feel like it.
Oh, by the way, if we redid all our old rounds, we would have so much material for Flashback Friday. I'm telling you right now. Anyway, keep going.
So, dumbass drivers. Have you ever been, for the people that drive that actually watch the show, you ever been like stuck at a light? You're just kind of like sitting there. It's a nice day. You're chilling. You're listening to some tunes. Light turns green. You're trying to get somewhere. You're trying to meet up with a friend or meet up with your significant other. Maybe you got to go to an appointment or something, and the light's been green, and this person just, they ain't moving. So you gotta like sit there and you're just thinking to yourself, what is so important right now that you are not paying attention to said light?
Do you know what I found the answer to that is usually?
What?
A cell phone.
Yeah, it's almost always a cell phone. Whether it's reading a text or on a call, looking at a photo or something. I don't know. Maybe you're playing a fucking game. I don't care.
Did you know? Actually, this I didn't point out the last time we did this because I didn't know this the last time we did this. Did you know that the time it takes for you to glance at a text for 1 second, you will have gone the length of one football field while you were driving?
Yeah, I know that. 100 yards, so.
Mm-hmm. You will have gone the length of one football field.
A football field.
Think about that for a second, people.
100 yards is in a football field.
End zone to end zone.
Yep. When you look at a text message or you answer a call, you have literally drove a football field. In which case, that's a football field of you not having your eyes dead ahead, looking at what you're doing at the street, at the other cars near you. You're just not there. Your eyes just aren't there. Your eyes are fixated on your phone.
Your eyes are basically like covered in aviators. You're like not paying attention at all.
Exactly. So that's just one of them. The other ones are,
That's the biggest one.
That's one of the biggest ones. The people where, these are more or less people that actually they live in buildings and they park on like streets and stuff like that. If you park in a parking lot, you really don't have this problem. But you ever just you're trying to find parking, you're just coming home from work or you're coming home from your significant other's place. Again, multiple reasons why you're coming home. Either way, you're still coming home though. You're trying to find some parking and it just looks like there's no parking, but then you're looking carefully and you're like, if that car was to move back and that car was to move forward, I would have a spot right now.
That happens a lot in front of this man's building.
That happens a lot in front of my house. I cannot tell you how many times, especially one time when I was working back at Old Navy. This is back in 2009. This is back on the Hyundai Elantra.
Hence Flashback Friday.
Yeah, Flashback Friday. And I remember that there were so many cars on my street, no spots. And yet there was 3 cars that were taking up good 2 spots.
Alright, I want to try something.
Alright.
Good way to not kill the car battery.
Flashback Friday in the dark. Alrighty then.
Flashback.
In the dark.
There you go.
So yeah, you ever had that happen to you? It just pissed me off. Why the hell are you so far apart from the other car?
And it's not even like it's a minimal gap either. It's like
It's like I can fit a smart car and a motorcycle in that spot.
Exactly.
But yeah, I can't fit my car because
I have an Elantra or I have a Grand Prix.
Your ignorant ass wants to go right ahead and take up
ignorant.
Yeah, ignorant.
That hasn't made a That wasn't used on the show in a long while.
Yeah, well, you know,
Wow.
that's how ignorant people are when they do
Oh,
that shit.
wow.
Your ignorant ass didn't have the courtesy just to, like,
back,
you know,
man.
move up just a little bit closer to the car in front of you, or move back a little bit, just back up to the car behind you, to give me that space. That way, maybe it might be a tight squeeze, but I could probably fit it. And yet, you just left your car there.
Why?
Didn't even give a damn in the world.
Why?
Don't care.
Why?
You don't give two shits, not one, not two.
Why?
And yet, I'm sitting here. I got work in the morning. I'm coming back home from work, and next thing you know, I gotta spend an hour of my life trying to find a spot.
An hour that I could have spent sleeping,
or, you know, brushing my teeth, maybe getting like something to drink, and then going to bed. But still, could have spent an hour of my life sleeping, and yet I gotta spend an hour of my life looking for a spot. Also, another thing that I hate. This all has to do with just driving, stupid drivers in general. You ever just mostly during the winter? This normally does not happen during the summer because, well, it never snows during the summer.
That is untrue.
Depending on where you live. If you live in New York, it don't snow during the summer. And if it does, well, the world's coming to an end, people, in which case you better start thinking about something.
Global warming is real. Yeah. Dig it.
You ever just go ahead, you're trying to find some parking, again, same scenario, and there's a big-ass snow mound just right there, taking up one spot.
That's happened several times to me this winter.
One spot. And then you're trying to get into a spot that you see, it's like, oh, I can fit this spot. And it is piled with snow and ice, and you gotta, like, pretty much power your way through it.
Oh, I think my favorite time was when we were in the car. We were parking all the way back there. There was a sheet of ice, and then there's a sheet of sleet, and then there's a sheet of fresh snow. And this one tells me not to pull in. What do? My idiot ass pulls in.
Didn't listen.
Didn't listen. And because I didn't listen, we spent the next hour
trying to get his car
shoveling snow.
Try to get his car unstuck from snow.
An hour.
When all I told him was just go around, try to find another spot.
This is why people need to shovel their spots. This is why people need to not have snow mounds on the side of the road. Shovel your spots.
Okay.
Don't leave snow mounds.
And then the other one, which is you're just driving. You're on most likely this happens on the highway, but it's all gonna happen on like a main road anyway. It's like my road. My road's like a 2-lane. You ever just driving, you're just chilling, you're relaxing, and stuff like that. Again, same scenario as the first one. You listen to some tunes. Someone just cuts you off, and like they're trying to make a turn, all the way from like the left lane. They're trying to make a right turn, all the way from the left lane. You gotta be like the person. It's like, am I gonna be nice to actually let this person through, or am I gonna have to be a dick and just like kind of like power through this and be like, yo, fuck you? I hate that. I really do hate that. Cutting off people sucks. Because then I gotta stop my car because your dumbass didn't know to make this right. Instead of making this right and cutting through lanes of traffic, how about you go ahead and you keep going straight.
And then you make the next possible right.
And then you make the next possible right.
Or left.
Or if you're on an exit, you're on a highway, just take the next exit, just get right back on the highway and just take the exit that you're supposed to take.
I swear to God, people are such idiots.
Instead of just like cutting through like 3 lanes of traffic because that's your exit, that's your spot, and you need to be there.
There is always more than one way to get to a certain place.
Exactly.
Always.
Always leave some room when you're going somewhere. That way, if anything happens, you have enough time to do what you gotta do to get there. And stuff like that. Don't be an idiot.
Don't be an idiot.
Don't be an idiot. All the Supernatural fans out there know exactly what that's from.
Exactly. And all our Supernatural fans out there should be very happy with this week's episode.
Yes, but that's kind of getting off topic. So anyway, that's my rant. Stupid ass drivers.
All right.
They don't know nothing. What is your rant?
I'm going to actually swipe one from way back in the day.
It's like, yeah, he's pulling at me right now.
Women don't listen.
I think we did that with just normal people who don't listen.
No, we did women.
Oh, we did women? So we all right, well, okay.
No, it was women who don't take a hint. That's exactly what it was.
That's what it was, yes. Okay. I remember that.
So, you're in a bar. Perfect scenario. You're in a bar. You're having a few beers with your buddies. There's this woman who's kind of clingy. Being like, oh, lovey-dovey when you're hanging out with your friends. You make a gesture. Be like, I'm kind of hanging out with my friends right now. She stills all up on you. Take the hint. You're with your friends. You're not there to pick up chicks. Take the hint. Another one. You're at a, Actually, that's all I got.
That's all he's got, people. Alright, so. Would you like to choose the group rant, or would you want to pass it off to me? Do you have a group rant in mind that you and me can both rant about, or do you want me to choose it?
Oh, I got one inspired by what happened tonight.
Alright.
This is one that is inspired by what happened last night, people.
Last night, okay.
People who say they're fans of whatever, and they know nothing about it.
Yeah, that grinds our gears.
Thank you, Peter.
You're welcome. That really does grind my gears. I eat that shit.
So, let's take my example, which happened to me tonight. Let's say
He's calling himself out.
Let's say, well, if I don't call myself out, who will? Don't answer that.
Okay.
Let's say you're a Batman fan. This guy. And let's say you, not knowing the entirety of the Arkham Knight saga.
Oh, Arkham series.
See what I mean? The entirety of the series. Want to buy something that is related to Batman. How can one appreciate what you have if you don't know everything about it? I'll give you one that hits a little closer to home to me. Let's say you're a wrestling fan, and then you have someone come in and buy you, I don't know, buy you tickets to go see the Royal Rumble at the Garden, Madison Square Garden. And they go with you. But they're not a fan. How on earth could you appreciate what they're doing if you know nothing about it?
I'm going to do another one that probably hits very close to a lot of people out there. So, you see a movie, you like it. Let's take, for example, I don't know, Avengers Age of Ultron. Let's take that into consideration, okay? It is the second Avengers film and the 11th film in a franchise. I guarantee you there are going to be people that are going to see that movie that have not seen one other Marvel movie.
Okay, to be fair. Just
being fair here.
I'm playing devil's advocate. Sometimes what happens is that you go in to see a movie and you haven't seen anything else, and that makes you want to see the others without having any knowledge of the past films. Makes you go like, what's going on? I should really watch everything so that I'm all caught up. perfect example would be the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yes, we're on the 7th film. That just came out
We are
tonight.
on the 7th film now.
It was a great film, by the way.
Now, if you go into the film, the 7th film, without having watched any of the other films,
Yep, including the 4th, 5th, and 6th.
you'll still enjoy it, sure, but you won't fully grasp everything that's happened. Like, certain plot points you won't understand.
Certain character developments that you don't know how it happened.
Exactly. Now, it may make you want to go back and watch it, but why would you go into watching the 7th movie when you have no knowledge of the other films and it doesn't make you appreciate it more?
Oh, it's the same thing with Avengers.
Like if you've been along for the entire ride, it makes you appreciate everything more. Mm-hmm. Makes you want to care about these characters. It's like a TV series, actually. You can't go into Supernatural, for example. You can't go straight into that, not knowing anything, straight off season 10, which you're in right now, and expect to be like, oh, I'm going to pick this up like that.
Yes.
It's one of those series that you need to watch every single episode of every single season before that.
Yes. This is not like American Horror Story.
It's not like Horror Story where it's every season is separate.
Where you can jump in and be like, all right, well, I know nothing of past,
it's not like
past
certain
seasons, and yet I can still understand the show and I can relate.
It's not like certain crime scene dramas.
But yet, it's not like Walking Dead, where if you jump into season 5, which just ended this past Sunday, and stuff, and we're going to be waiting for season 6, it's October, you have no idea what the hell's going on. A lot of things happened. People died. Certain plot points have come and gone. Some character developments have already ran their course. Some characters already had some spotlight. You have no idea.
You don't know.
Especially in season 5. Season finale, where there's a character, and I'm not going to say that person's name, that if you have not watched any of the other episodes of that show, you have no idea who this person is. You have no idea why they're relevant to this episode. And yet, if you watched seasons 1, seasons 2, 3, and 4, and most of 5, you understand that this person is relevant. Why this person has their time in said episode.
Now, we're not gonna say that this applies to everything. This doesn't always apply to everything. There are certain TV series that you can just drop into.
Yeah, certain movie series.
Certain movie series that you can just drop into.
Like, you can definitely just drop straight, almost, into James Bond. Pick a film and just drop right into it. It's
well,
pretty self-explanatory.
Yes and no.
Certain films you can like the new one that's coming out, Scepter. You really can't drop into that without having watched Skyfall before.
It's like
But you can drop into Skyfall without having watched anything.
It's like the separate James Bond. You can't jump right into the last Pierce Brosnan film without having watched the first one that he did, the second one that he did. Same thing with Roger Moore. You can't.
Same thing with Daniel Craig.
Exactly. Same thing with
However, if you jump into like the first
Sean Connery. Thank you.
Now, granted, if you jump into like the first Daniel Craig film or the first Pierce Brosnan film, then you don't have to go back, really. You know, it's pretty, you can start from there and stuff like that. But, this doesn't apply to all, but most things out there, most television shows, most movies and stuff, most animated shows or animated films and stuff like that generally have some type of plot line and story that you have to go watch most of the rest of it. It also goes for video games.
Okay. Now, to get to the ranting part, which is my favorite part of the show. It really is. For those who are unaware of the term ranting, it means to carry on about a subject, usually yelling.
Yes, usually yelling.
in a very loud voice, and you tend to be very angry at the
angry, upset. Some type of emotion is running through you.
Yes, but
this is happening.
More chance than not, it's anger.
Yeah, more chance than not though. It's not happy. Definitely tell. I mean, there are
happy rants.
There are happy rants. Don't get me wrong. We did a happy rant about the Eminem concert last summer.
We did.
That was a great rant.
It was.
A very happy rant. We were not angry at all.
No.
We were very happy people.
Yes.
Some of that. There was no anger on us.
No.
So that we were all smiles.
Yes.
And happy days.
Yes.
But yet, you have those rants, most rants, that are based off of some type of negative emotion, like anger or upset, frustration.
So here's mine.
These are one of those rants.
Here's a great one. And it's basically what we've not been doing this entire episode. Let's see how you feel. We haven't made eye contact with you for the entire episode. How do you feel about that? Leave a comment on how you feel about that. See if it affects you.
Yeah, you don't know where we're looking.
We can look dead ahead. We can be looking anywhere we want to. You don't know because we're wearing aviators.
Yeah,
which we rock really well, by the way.
That's what we do. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well,
all right. Anyway, eye contact is vital to any conversation. Whether it's a glance here or there relating to what you're saying, whether it's full on stare at you, I'm gonna not break eye contact with you at all during this entire conversation. You need to have eye contact to have a significant conversation with another human being. This is a fact. If you want to seem insignificant to another person, don't make eye contact with them at all. Because then what will happen is that you'll feel like nothing. Nothing. You'll feel like you'll feel like gum on the bottom of someone's ship. That's what will end up happening. Very insignificant. It's not a good feeling, folks. Trust me.
Trust him.
I know.
He knows very well.
So, the moral of this rant is to make sure that you have eye contact with everybody that you talk to. Some form of it. Glancing. Staring. Staring is generally impolite. I don't recommend that, but, if it calls for it, it calls for it. Here and there, glancing around. I'm gonna look at you now, and then I'm looking at another point of view. Another fixture. And then another one. Eye contact. Use it.
Learn it. Live it. Love it.
Okay, Sam. That's a supernatural reference from this past week's episode. It took me 30 seconds to figure that out.
Alright.
Alright, I think I'm done with my my actual rant.
Done with ranting.
My actual rant before it was like my general discussion. You know what? We didn't really rant, did we?
Kind of.
Not really, though. Now that I think about it. Whatever. Anyway. Your turn.
I gotta do another one. Okay.
To actually rant. Because you weren't yelling, you weren't, screaming, you weren't okay, this annoys me, or this makes me happy, or this makes me angry, or this makes me jealous. You were just dumbass drivers. And you were all chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool, all shooting some b-ball outside of the school.
If you don't know where that's from, I feel bad for you.
If you don't know where that's from, you weren't born in the 90s.
I feel real bad for you.
90s for life, brother. 90s for life.
I live my life by motto. If I meet a girl and she doesn't know the rest of the lyrics to that song, she's too young for you.
These are true facts.
That goes the same for any person that's gay, lesbian, bisexual, whatever your preference is.
That's our hook. These are true facts.
Alrighty then.
I like it.
All right.
Well, actually, that can't be our hook. Opinions and whatnot. We'll think of something. Promise. And also a promise is that this segment will most likely come back.
Yes, it will.
And it will air on Fridays.
Yes.
Hence Flashback Friday.
Yes, that's the whole point of Flashback Fridays.
So, in addition to our Thursday tapings, Flashback Friday will air on Friday.
Yes, whenever we do them.
Thursday tapings will generally be airing on either Monday or Tuesday. They will generally drop on Monday or Tuesday. So that way we'll have time to
Edit.
Yes.
And
These we won't edit. These will be like straight up, in your face, pow. Viewers, right here. Right here.
if anyone doesn't know where that's from, that's also sad.
I feel sad for you.
Yeah, so do I. That's pretty sad.
All right, we gave people TV references. I'm sure you've had time to think of your rant.
Okay. I know I definitely got one. You know what I really don't like? With a passion. Even though I know that there's probably some good reason behind it.
I would love to know.
Delays. I fucking hate them.
Delays?
Yes. Like when a film gets delayed to another date.
Film delays. Okay.
No,
wait, do you just mean film delays, or you mean delays in general?
Just delays in general.
Okay.
I'm about to bring up one example.
Okay.
And stuff like that. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Originally, when it was announced in 2014, it was supposed to be released in 2015 during the summer. Yeah, about that.
Not happening.
It is to be aired in 2016 during March. I think it's March 6th. I could be wrong. Another prime example, and these are the two games that come off the top of my head. BioShock Infinite, when it was being made, it was actually started production in 2010 or 2011. Someone look it up. The man's going to look it up right now, but unfortunately...
Where's your phone?
My phone's over here.
Thank you.
So, it was delayed 3 times. I know that for a fact. The game kind of teased it. A little bit of an Easter egg in there. It was delayed 3 times and finally came out in 2013. Another game that is I'm very much anticipating and waiting for very patiently.
Yeah, you said that twice. It doesn't make me think you're patient.
I know. Well, if you saw what I did, you would understand that one. Batman Arkham Knight. He kind of mentioned it earlier. Originally, when the game was announced, it was supposed to come out in October of 2014. Then it got delayed to June 2nd of 2015. And then recently, I think it was about a week ago, it got delayed again to June 23rd of 2015. I am so sick and tired of delays. I understand they come from a good place. You want to give time to your product. You want to make sure it is correct before you release it to the public. But do me a favor. When you're coming up with your release dates, to let the public know exactly when you plan on releasing this medium or, this whatever you're doing.
Just for the record, we're checking. How many times Bioshock Infinite has been delayed? 3 times. 3.
Batman Arkham Knight has been delayed twice. So is Batman v Superman. Twice. Even though one time it actually got pushed up, so can't really see anything to that. But back to my thing though. When you're creating a game, or you're filming a show, or you're filming a film, please, for the love of fucking God, on everything that's holy, make sure that your release date is actually true. If you feel as though it is not going to come out around that time, please do me a favor and just generally give a release date, like 2014 or 2015. This film will come out in 2016.
Humans are holy.
So please, for everything that is effing holy right now.
I love how you swore twice and then you say effing.
I know, right? It's a beautiful thing. For everything that's holy, please get these fucking release dates correct. Stop pushing shit back.
And just to be let it known, as we wrap this thing up, this series, Flashback Friday, will not be for the faint of heart. It will be explicit.
It'll be raw.
And when I say explicit, I mean that on Thursday tapings, we won't curse at all. On Flashback Friday,
expect a lot.
Uncut, uncensored,
unedited, raw in your face.
The shit will be raw.
It'll be real. It'll be real, it'll be raw, and it'll be everywhere.
Live it.
Love it.
Learn it.
Like it. Accept it.
This has been a Flashback Friday to one of our don't even know words can sum it up. One of our more interesting shows that we've ever put out. Ranting and Raving. If you want to know the channel name, you can rewind the video, because I'm not going to say it again.
No, you're saying enough.
Anyway, I'm Ethan.
I'm Matt.
Matt. Coming at you off of Random Carvids. This was a flashback.